Hey guys, welcome to the shop. My name is Conservative Convict. I am 7 years clean. I did almost 10 years in prison. Um, Split over a couple of different times in prison. If you like what you hear, if you could please subscribe and or comment. I'm really trying to grow this channel. I'm currently in trying to get a hold of a couple of local county jails, chaplains, some local ministries, trying to get back into the jails, try to really help people and be a part of the change for people, because there's just too many families that don't have a father. There are too many kids that are ashamed that they got to tell their friends, yeah, my dad's in jail, or he's going to be in jail, or he was in jail. And they can't talk about the successes that they've had. And the men can't talk about the success that they had because most people don't think that ex-prisoners, convicts, inmates, whatever you want to call them, can have true change and success. So, I could really use some help. Sharing, liking, commenting, hitting the rumble button, whatever you feel comfortable doing, I could use the help. The way I was raised, it's kind of hard to ask for help. I know a lot of other men feel the same way, but if I keep staying in my comfort zone, I'm not actually going to get to where I want to be. So today's video is going to be a little different. I know it's been a while since I posted a video, but I'm going to be working on something that I am working on. So what I'm doing is I am prepping these to be turned on my lathe to become legs for a terrarium stand, because our snake, well, my wife's snake, is getting too large for the current terrarium she's in. So I'm going to be prepping that. And I do not have a current setup to point it at what I'm doing, but I will periodically show you what I'm doing. What I wanted to talk about today was how did I implement the things in the 5 parts: accountability, responsibility, perseverance, healing, and God. And the thing is, there's no perfect way of doing it. There's no roadmap to doing it. The way you start is by doing it. When I talk to my wife and I tell her about all the things that I want to do, the example I give is, if there's a master craftsman and he wants, or if there's someone that wants to be a master craftsman, almost cut myself. How does he become a master craftsman? How does he go from being untrained, unskilled, and unknowledgeable to being a master? Sure as heck doesn't happen overnight. Sure as heck doesn't come from whining and complaining about not having the right tools, having the right skill set, having the right teacher. The way that they become masters, and this is almost counterintuitive, they just start doing it. They just start doing it. And as crazy as that sounds, that's how I went from being a whiner, a complainer, a rear view mirror watcher. I just started holding myself accountable. And it doesn't have to be big things. It doesn't have to be these massive things like, oh my gosh, I was speeding, so I'm going to call the cops and tell them to give me a speeding ticket. No. And whenever you're holding yourself accountable for the good things, it's not putting away the dishes and looking at your wife and going, yeah, see what I did? Yeah, that was all me. No, it's not that either. What it is what is something that you know you shouldn't be doing that you are doing, and when you find yourself doing it, are you stopping to rebuke? Is kind of a strong word for that, but it's kind of the word is what it's meant for. Are you stopping and thinking about, man, I really shouldn't have done that? Or if you do something good that's potentially out of character for you, are you stopping to say, hey, man, I wouldn't have done that before I wanted to change? Man, I really am glad that I did that. Jordan B. Peterson, no affiliation, not sponsored, none of the things that I need to say to make sure that he doesn't sue me. But Jordan B. Peterson, what he said was, pride is the biggest sin, because of pride there will become a fall. So instead of feeling pride for yourself, feel pleased the same way that you are pleased when someone you love is successful or does something that you feel is an achievement. And that's how you hold yourself accountable for the good things. Be pleased. Say, hey, wow, stop and smell the roses. Stop and recognize that you changed that much in the time that you've been working on it. And there's no secret. There's no pill to take. There's no shot that'll help with that. You just gotta do it. You gotta Nike it up, and you just got to start in whatever way is gonna get you started. And once you start doing that, it'll come easier. With time, mind you, time is the part of it that stinks. Is because in today's mindset, the quickness of something is relative not to the difficulty or where you started in your journey. Quick to us is relative to how other people have done it. And that is, in a lot of cases, not the right attitude to be having, especially when it comes to changing yourself, becoming closer to God, or anything along those lines. Because there's not a person on this earth that you admire that has had the exact same experiences that you have. Can they empathize? Most definitely. Can they have similar experiences? They probably do if you look up to them. But They don't know where you are. They don't know who you are. And until you realize that this is not a race, but a map of where you want to be, then you'll never get started. Because there's always going to be someone in your mind that's further along down the road. There's always going to be someone in the back of your subconscious that is better than you, further along than you. And one way that I had to hold myself accountable lately or recently was that I realized that there's things in my life that I've been neglecting. Like one, my weight. I decided this week that I was going to make some drastic changes and hold myself accountable, not just for myself, but for my kids and my wife, because I want to be there for all the important times in our lives and in their lives. And to do that, I can't be the funny fat man anymore. I got to be the healthy man. I have to be the serious man, and I have to be the man that leads his family. That is one of the God-given roles as husband, father, and spiritual leader of the family. So, I am on a journey just like you are. So don't think you're alone. Don't think that no matter where you are in your journey, if you just got released from prison, if you just got let go from your job, if you just got divorced, if you just had a kid, if your kid just got to an age that, they think they know more than you, it doesn't matter where you are. Change is possible. Growing closer to God is always possible. Working towards that better job is always possible. Just gotta do it. I'm a pretty big Star Wars fan, and I think Yoda said it best. Do or do not, there is no try. And that's what we need to start realizing, is that for you and for me, the doing is going to look different. Because every goal has steps. Every goal. And just because you haven't reached the goal doesn't mean you're not doing the work to get there. And so we need to stop thinking about, I'm going to try to do something. And we need to get to a mindset of, I'm going to do it. When God told Moses, you're going to go free my people, he didn't say, hey, go try to save my people. He said, you're going to save the people. And Moses came up with some excuses. He said, well, I can't speak that well. I got a speech impediment and I can't do it. I just can't do it. And God said, okay, sure. I'll give you Aaron to speak for you. And so Moses started doing it. And the funny thing is, Moses did all the speaking. Because as long as you're doing it, you will eventually get to that goal. The goal may change, The goal may not be what you originally thought it would be, or the goal may not be enough of where you want to be, so you'll extend it to a secondary higher goal. Just need to do it. And that's where accountability can really help. Because if you're not doing it and you're truly holding yourself accountable, that little part of the back of your brain that knows that you should be doing it or doing something along those lines is going to perk up. It may make you feel guilty. It may make you passionate to get into it and get doing it. Because accountability doesn't come without consequences. Accountability doesn't come without inherent emotions that either drive you to continue or to what word am I thinking of? To resist doing something that you shouldn't. So, guess what I'm trying to get at is, if you want to start the change and you want to start on step one, which is accountability, start something small. You know, you want to stop swearing so much. Okay. Every time that you drop an F-bomb, stop, rephrase it, and maybe apologize. Hey, I'm sorry I used that language. That's not appropriate. I should not be speaking that way. Are you going to get some weird looks? Probably, because the people around you have probably gotten used to that from you. They probably think that, hey, whoa, what's going on? This guy drops F-bombs like he's sprinkling food. Sprinkling seasoning on some food. Well, you want to change it? Then hold yourself accountable when you mess up. Hold yourself accountable whenever you let some of them words that you're trying to change, so that you can change the words you use about yourself and your surroundings. Then every time that you do that, stop, think, and then act. Because once that becomes easy, you'll want to move on to something a little harder. Are you overeating? Okay. Don't tell yourself, well, I'm going to eat better 100% and I'm never going to slip up. That's how I'm going to hold myself accountable. It's not realistic. Is it attainable? Sure. If you've got very high discipline, that's hard to come by. Discipline's built like anything else in this life. You got to build it up. You got to make it easier to have the discipline you need by using discipline you have. So that's how I got started with my accountability. I just started small. You know, and I screwed up, I messed up, and instead of using the past to try to change my future, I used accountability to change my present. Because the future is going to sort itself out when you get there. You have no control over it. Again, if you like what you heard, if you really would like to help support this channel, be on the ground floor, most definitely the lowest floor of the ground floor, please subscribe. Please be a part of this journey. You know, I don't have a lot. I never really have. But you don't need a lot to make change. And you don't need a lot to help other people. You just need to have the willingness, your two hands, and a heart that longs to be compassionate to others. And I have that. And I really need some help that I can reach the people that need to be reached. I appreciate everyone watching. If you liked, thank you. If you hit the Rumble button, rock on. And if you would like to comment, ask any questions, if you would like me to explain something further, I have no problem doing that in future videos. I will write them down and I will make sure that I hit them up every chance that I get. I hope everyone has a good day and an even better tomorrow. And always remember, if we want to change the world, we have to change ourselves.